look at the 6 years from the conceptualization of AK12DC to now, one of the most significant things to me has been the collaboration and the working together across boundaries of the independent school world where we conceived of this work, and now our work with Fulton County Schools. We came into this work really believing that design thinking as a process could be used by schools to deepen their understanding of problem solving around things that were important to the school to do. And it has happened. When we look at Mountain Park Elementary, when we look at numbers of schools that have been through AK12 Design Challenge, their design teams have worked on some pretty significant things using design thinking as a process and made important changes that have impacted the school.
We started with AK12DC and design thinking 7 years ago. And the first year we took on one project, one small challenge, and we worked on that pretty much for the second half of the year. Over the course of time, design thinking has become something that we're using every day in our school. We have it happening in classrooms with students. Our student council is all based on design thinking. Our leadership team engages in design thinking, our admin team, and we also have our design team that helps govern our school. And it's happening in classrooms with students more and more.
When Tara, our principal, first approached us about design thinking, the first thing that she said was, it's very similar to this engineering design process that we use as a STEM school. So I'd like you to kind of look at both of them and see how we can use design thinking. They really do flow well together. The only difference is design thinking takes into stand the user and empathizing with the user.
Design thinking is super fun to me because I get to see other people's situations, find ways to help them.
You get to learn about other people, what they want. I feel like not only you can do that in the design thinking project, but you can also use that to make new friends, new relationships. And it can help you not just for a project, but in life.
People like helping each other. Like, we all are a society, so we should be able to help each other.
Using the empathy part of the design process to understand more deeply the needs and desires of people, I believe that that is game-changing.
Change is something that's constant in schools, and people really don't like change. Teachers have a way of doing things. They have things that they really believe strongly in or things that have worked in the past, and that's what they want to keep doing.
As a leader, you want to try to fix it. If I'm just jumping to solution and saying, let's try this, I'm not really getting to the really real, and I'm not actually solving the real problem.
We often think what we know is the thing that will actually solve the problem. AK12DC brings schools together to recognize that we all have issues and challenges that we're dealing with that we don't know the answer to, and it's really okay not to know. What does it mean when I get out of my head from a stance of knowing and start asking questions?
Through design thinking, we've learned to really stop and find out more about the problem before we try to figure out a solution. Everyone has a voice. So we talk to students, we talk to teachers, we take a look at what's happening, we watch.
It's looking at who is going to be affected by that change and talk to them first. Gain empathy and gain understanding. Seek to understand first, then you can start really diving into coming up with ideas, plans, models to try out.
We could put processes in place, we could put band-aids on things all day long, but really the design thinking process helps us because it gets to that root cause.
Using the process puts you in kind of a think tank kind of situation, and that's really fun. To be able to identify significant problems that our users have and then come up with creative ideas to solve those problems. So it's really been fun, challenging, but fun. Our main concern, of course, is student achievement. And of course, research shows that parent involvement plays a significant role in the achievement of the students.
We did empathy with the parents, and we really found out that they didn't even know or have a clear definition of what it meant to be involved. So we thought that was really important to try to figure out and kind of ideate around that.
After identifying our users and thinking about this problem, we developed the idea of the PAW Pact.
It's a way for our parents to have an award system for being involved in school. It also clearly defines ways for them to be involved.
Anytime a parent volunteers in the school, the student receives a point on their paw pact card. And after so many paw prints, the student earns an award. This paw pact prototype has had a tremendous impact. We have seen such a large increase in our parent involvement. We are looking now at the data to see how the paw pact has impacted student achievement.
If we did not have AK12DC, we would be spinning our wheels trying to determine what this all means for ourselves. But to have people who have been there before, who have done it before, and who've really researched and understand the process has helped us gain the knowledge that we needed to be as successful as we could be with the program.
I've seen schools attack challenges in new ways, problems that many of them never knew how to address. They learned how to address those. And then even some of our schools went a step further, and now design thinking in many ways is embedded in many of the things that they do. And we're seeing schools not just change, but know how to keep changing. AK12DC has helped build within a lot of these schools an ability to constantly innovate, which I think is probably one of the most important aspects of today's organizations.
This process will change the way that you think, and it will also make the lives of our kids better.
It is a squiggly, messy process, but it's amazing when it gets to that straight line and you've really solved for the right problem and you see your work. I'm getting goosebumps right now because it is amazing once you really solve that problem and you know that it was for the right reasons.
To get to the right solution, we have to be comfortable in the squiggle. Having a team that is willing to be creative but also hold each other accountable to process has been key.
We are not in the business as a school to only give our students information that will help them do well on a test or do well this year or next year. We're trying to give them the skills that they need for life. There's never a final answer. You can always make things better. And to me, that what you learn through the AK12DC, through this whole design thinking, are skills that will help you be as successful as you can be in life. Why would you not want to give that to your kids?